Welcome again to your renewed faith devotions as we reflect on the great influences of the faith. We have seen Nehemiah's tender heart, his fearless request, his courageous spirit, and his undaunted will. And so today we will watch him put a diligent plan into action, one that is wise, practical, and that he will be steadfast under pressure. And so I turn to Nehemiah chapter 4, and I read from verses 12 through to 23. So it was, when the Jews who dwelt near them came, that they told us 10 times, from whatever place you turn, they will be upon us. Therefore I positioned men behind the lower parts of the wall at the openings, and I set the people according to their families, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked, and arose, and said to the nobles, to the leaders, and to the rest of the people, do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome, and fight for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your houses. And it happened, when our enemies heard that it was known to us, and that God had brought their plot to nothing, that all of us returned to the wall, everyone to his work. So it was, from that time on, that half of my servants worked at construction, while the other half held spears, the shields, the bows, and wore armor, and the leaders were behind all the house of Judah. Those who built on the wall and those who carried burdens loaded themselves, so that with one hand they worked at construction, and with the other held a weapon. Every one of the builders had his sword girded at his side as he built, and the one who sounded the trumpet was beside me. Then I said to the nobles, the rulers, and the rest of the people, the work is great and extensive, and we are separated far from one another on the wall. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there. Our God will fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of the men held the spears from daybreak until the stars appeared. At the same time I also said to the people, let each man and his servant stay at night in Jerusalem, that they may be our guard by night, and a working party by day. So neither I, my brethren, my servants, nor the men of the guard who followed me took off our clothes, except that everyone took them off for washing. Here we see a diligent plan in action. Word reaches Nehemiah 10 times over that the enemies are preparing a surprise attack from every direction. The rumor is designed to shatter the workers' morale. Although Nehemiah carries the king's official approval, he knows that in this distant corner of the empire such letters will not stop a sudden raid. So he acts. He positions armed men at the vulnerable lower sections and openings in the wall. He stations the people by families, fathers and sons standing ready with swords, spears, and bows. Then he rises and speaks, do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome, and fight for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your houses. From that day forward, the work continues under a careful system. Half the servants labor on the wall, while the other half stand guard in full armor. Those who carry loads and those who build work with one hand and hold a weapon in the other. Every builder keeps his sword girded at his side. A trumpeter stays constantly beside Nehemiah, so that at the first alarm the scattered workers can rally together. At night, the men remain inside the city to form both a guard and a working party. Nehemiah himself, his brothers, and the guard do not even remove their clothes except for washing. Now the plan is diligent, thorough, and faithfully followed through, and day by day the wall rises. Someone once described the Christian life as a sword and a trowel exercise. Like Nehemiah's workers, we are called to go about our God-given tasks with the tool that we have in one hand and a weapon in the other. And why? because the Apostle Peter warns us plainly in his first letter in chapter 5, verse 8, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." Friends, the work God has given you, whether rebuilding a family, serving in the church, living faithfully at work, or simply persevering in prayer, you will face opposition. Diligence means we do not neglect the work, yet neither do we ignore the danger. We build with one hand and we stay ready with the other, always remembering that our God is great and awesome and that He Himself fights for us. May the Lord give us all the same wise and diligent spirit that we see in Nehemiah, working steadily, watching carefully, and trusting fully. Until next time, keep the faith.